Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into the really fascinating research of Dr. Sudheendra S G, which looks at an ancient system of knowledge, a system that, you're about to see, feels incredibly modern, almost like it was designed for us today. So, to get our heads around this, let me ask you a question. Just think about the smartphone you're probably holding right now. You know how it has a basic operating system, right? And then, on top of that, you've got the App Store, with all these different programs for specific jobs. Well, Dr. Sudheendra S G's research uses this powerful analogy. He suggests we think of the Shruti, that's the ancient texts we know as the Vedas, as the fundamental operating system of your phone. It's the core code, the iOS or the Android that sets out all the basic principles for life. Okay, so if the Vedas are the OS, then what's the App Store? Well, that would be the Smriti. It's this enormous, constantly growing collection of theories and theses from absolutely brilliant sages. It's like a cosmic Google Play Store for all of life's challenges. So, what kind of apps are we talking about here? What could you actually find in this incredible library of genius? Let's go browse the aisles. Well, for starters, way back, almost 5,000 years ago, you had the Gautama Smriti. This was basically the app for law and justice. I mean, it was a complete user manual for a whole judicial system, defining crimes, punishments, and even the role of logic in settling disputes. Amazing. And for all you mathematicians and engineers out there was the Katyana Smriti. This was the go-to app for trigonometry. It laid out the foundational theorems for concepts like sine and cosine, stuff that we are still teaching in classrooms all over the world today. How about an app for your health? Yep, there was one for that too, the Vasishtha Smriti. It's thought to be one of the world's first documented theses on the human digestive system, a super detailed guide with rules for eating healthy. And this is where it gets really interesting. Get this, the Vyasa Smriti. This was an app for human rights and love. While a lot of ancient texts focused on your duties, this was one of the first to actually formulate individual rights and passions, and to put love right at the center of the human experience. But, just like any app store, not every app is a keeper. So what about all those controversial ideas we hear about? Well, the way this system deals with them is, again, surprisingly modern. The source material is very clear that, yes, concepts like sati, the caste system, or child marriage, they do exist in the massive Smriti library. But, and this is a big but, they're framed as theories from just a few thinkers, often under very specific circumstances. They were never meant to be universal, mandatory rules for everyone. And that brings us right back to the heart of the whole analogy. I mean, think about it. If you find a bad app on your phone, one that's harmful or just outdated, you don't throw your entire phone in the trash, do you? No, you just uninstall that one app. And that is the absolute key here. The Smriti isn't some rigid set of commandments. It's a library of suggestions. And the system gives you the freedom to choose the wisdom that works for your life and to just discard what's no longer relevant. You get to choose. But this is where it gets even cooler. This whole system, it wasn't a closed box. It was designed to be open source. It was literally built to invite constant innovation and updates from new thinkers and developers. You can actually see this evolution playing out over centuries. You have the foundational Vedic OS. Then the early sages come along and develop those first apps. But later, brilliant minds like the Buddha build on that core system to develop entirely new Smritis, which we now know as major world philosophies. It just kept happening. The system was designed to grow. And this whole open source idea has a legacy that is, well, it's pretty mind-blowing because it reaches all the way into the very heart of modern democracy. So if I asked you where parliamentary democracy came from, you'd probably say the British system, right? Most of us would. But Dr. Sudheendra S G's research uncovers an origin story that starts way, way earlier, back in 12th century India. So there was this 12th century scholar and social reformer, a man named Basaveshwara, and he was deeply inspired by the Smriti tradition of inquiry and debate, and he designed a truly revolutionary system of governance. It was called the Anubhava Mantapa. And right here, you can trace the journey of this incredible idea. Basaveshwara's model, with its elected representatives from different areas, was later studied by the British. They then reframed it into their own parliamentary system, which, in turn, became the foundation for India's own modern constitution. It's a direct line. And if you think that's just some abstract theory, it's not. The connection is so real, so acknowledged, that a statue honoring Basaveshwara for this very contribution to democratic thought stands proudly right now by the River Thames in London. So in the end, this ancient app store of knowledge is so much more than just a relic of the past. It was a living, breathing framework. It was the source code for ideas that literally shape the world we live in today. Which really leaves you with a huge question, doesn't it? What other modern ideas are just sitting there, hidden in these ancient systems, waiting for us to rediscover them?